This is the first time that I'm standing in here doing a TED Talk. So hey you guys, what's up? Well, I'm going to introduce myself now. And my name is Sandra, and I'm 70 years old girl. And I'm standing in here because I'm concerned about one thing in my short age. Well, it's not a thing. I'm concerned about people of nowadays, about their way to think, about what is going on inside their minds. I'm going to be talking about why do we as a society mostly teenagers have to follow the rules of how to be popular, to be a double face, because we are afraid to be pointed or criticized, or the fact of being accepted in a group of people. I get really confused when people act like this. Not accepting someone because of something in this point of the 21st century. These years are different, these years are modern, and I can understand why we cannot accept and refuse a girl or a boy or criticize them. I include myself because their preference, their lifestyle, their look, their orientation, because it's poor, because whatever. And the most important thing in here is that I want to open the eyes of those people who's acting in that way. We had to make a change. We have to do it. And putting a stop to people like that, and even ourselves, because the victims get really hurt, and sometimes we don't even notice. Most of the people that get hurt are teenagers. This is going to be about teenagers, and they suffer sometimes depression, and their parents have other mentality, and they don't notice that their children are suffering because a bunch of another teenagers another bunch of teenagers don't accept them, don't accept them. In this point, teenagers have to be strong. Young people have to be strong, and they have a right hand, and they have to have a right hand supporting them, because people is really cruel. You as a parent, I tell you, as a teenagers, almost an adult who passed through those kind of situations, that if your kid is acting wrong, talk to them, open their eyes and of your children, and if your kid is in the other side of the spectrum, help him or her to pass through it. Even the most confident and outspoken people have some things about themselves that they are not completely happy or satisfied with. It is completely natural to sometimes doubt the choices we have made and regret things that we had said, or want to improve ourselves in some area. In fact, fighting complexity is essential for making progress and reaching new heights. However, critical self-assessment is not the same as insecurity. Insecurity is from the lack of confidence and fits you upon a weak character. Whereas only those who are confident in themselves can imperfectly judge their own imperfections. It takes time to learn. It takes a lot of time to learn how to gain a footing in your life and comfortably grow into your own skin. That's why a lot of teenagers always make a lot of mistakes and bad choices with people. That's an important fact. And adults or parents and aunts and so uncles parents, grandparents can help us. Everyone can help us. Friend, like an old friend, a new friend, every person can help us. And I include myself because I have suffered these bunch of times. So that's why important that we have to start promoting love. We have to teach how to love, but most important, the first step, how to love themselves. Teenagers have to learn to deal with those kind of situations because we are surrounded by people that just want us to suffer, that want us to see us like, no, I don't know, like crying or maybe anxious or whatever. Like I said, people, it's really, really, really cruel, and we have to learn and pass through it. Maybe friends in quotes, because as I said, people, it's like I just said, people is really cruel, and they don't have another thing to do. That's why how life works. That's how life works. Don't I'm telling you, you to change the way you are, being yourself. One day you will find people that will support you, a real friend or a real partner of life, a real person that will really, really loves you and will never hurt you. This topic is very hard to talk about. Well, maybe just for me, but I think in my personal opinion that is really, really hard to talk about it. Because I think every person have suffered this. For example, me, when I get in high school, I have friends. This group of friends talked to me because I was friend of one of them. And I had an old friend in that group of friends. And just for that, this whole group was popular. Their name was known in the city, in other high schools. They were like really, really popular. Well, when you're mature, those kind of things doesn't even matter. If you're a good person, doesn't matter if you're popular or not. Just you have to be a successfully person and a good, like really, really good person. So backing to the TED Talk. I felt in that group of friends, I felt good. I was thinking I felt good. And because of that girl, because I was with that girl, and this girl like helped me, and I started to talk to them because her, and I felt secure because she was there. And this girl and I had a background. When she ignored me when I was in middle school to get me out of his group of friends. Instead in high school, being her friend, she told me that. And I was really, really impressed. I was like confused and disappointed, and well, I was being a dumb and innocent girl of 15 years old, and I continue being her friend. A month before I finished second semester, I had a fight with another girl of that group of friends, and this old friend decided to be in the side of that girl. And well, I say okay, whatever she wants. And then I realized it was just interest. It was just interest for that girl. But how can she be criticized publicly by a bunch of popular teenagers instead of losing a friend, a real friend, because I really love her? I thought she was a real friend to me. That's an example of what I tried to say. She will prefer to continue being accepted, and she was afraid because she was on my side, and whatever, her name will not be known because popular friends reject her. Something that I learned about those experiences is that they are not the only people in the world, and I say to myself, just move on and keep looking. And I tell this for all the people on my situation. But what I tried to say with that is that you have to be careful with those people. It's not only people through a computer or someone hiding that can hurt you. You can be surrounded by them. Most of the people understand and handle those kind of situations, but teenagers are still learning about it, and follow with that, they are suffering every single day because of that. And the critics of people, sometimes conscious or unconscious, push other people to do crazy things. In conclusion, we have to start to think after talk. We have to stop refusing people because their clothes, preference, standards, etc. They are magnificent minds, and we are destroying them because we prefer a nice outfit. Thanks so much. And a last thing, happiness depends upon ourselves.